I know, it's been a while since I've made a video. Um, Last month has been a horrible month, but also somewhat a good month. There have been some birthdays, including mine, got a year older, and also my granddaughter's. But also bad news. My father has passed away close towards the end. It was on the 28th of January. And we're having the funeral tomorrow, which is the 10th of this month in February. In fact, at 5:30 in the morning, I just went for a walk, got some coffee and stuff because I just can't handle it. Because we're very close. I was close to my mother too. And within a year and a half, both of my parents are now with the Lord. Um, so it's just a grieving process I've been going to, and there's a woman I made friends with, and uh, she had a slot open. She's the therapist, and we were talking yesterday and stuff. She's asking how I'm handling it, and the best way to handle it is, and I don't care if you're religious or not, but getting into the Bible, and I read the King James Bible because everything's in there. It's like having a roast, vegetables, potatoes, big glass of juice and milk, salad, all the fixings. That's what the King James Bible is like. But getting into that, listening to video sermons, and also listening, about the pre-trib rapture. Now, I don't make dates on it because we don't know. That's how I deal with grieving. Um, trying to put a smile on my face when I know I'm kind of hurting inside, and I know the Lord's helping me get through this. But it always helps to talk to somebody. My ex-husband's been supportive, but it happened the day on my granddaughter on her birthday, and I was waiting up, to catch the bus. I had my backpack full of her presents, and I was waiting for the bus to come. She calls me and she goes, "Mom, what bus stop are you at?" And I said, "Well, I'm just now leaving." And she goes, "Okay." She goes, "Make sure you brought the presents," kind of joking and stuff. And I said, I always go overboard because I got a raise. And 10 minutes after that, she calls and she's crying her eyes out. And she's going, "Mom, Mom." And I'm thinking in my head, my ex-husband died. And I started shaking because I thought, you know, in a way, it's like we're still married. We still have a connection. But she said, "Grandpa died." And it was my father. And it was very unexpected because he was supposed to be here for Super Bowl Sunday. And all he did was get up from his chair, walk to the refrigerator, and collapsed. And he was 78 years old. And you don't know when you're going to go. With my mom, she was very sick. I was, in between, working and being her caregiver. At that time, I had more time. And my other siblings, there's like 5 of us kids, so there's a lot of us helping her. And she was in a hospital and went to a nursing home, and my brother Victor and I, um, were at her bedside and stuff, and I felt how she was getting feverish, and I knew that within a few hours she was going to die, so we went home, and that's when we got the phone call, and that was May of 2015. But my dad, we just did not expect it. And my brother Victor was the first one to get the phone call, and all he saw was Dad on his phone, and he picked it up, and he goes, "Hello, hello, Dad?" And he heard someone go, Victor, Victor. And my dad always played pranks. And he thought my dad was goofing off. He goes, Dad. And it was my Aunt Shirley. Now, my Aunt Shirley's 80, so she's the oldest, and it was just the both of them together. Um, my dad only had one sibling. So my Aunt Shirley's taking it really hard. But he was in shock. My brother just about fainted and then picked himself up by the bootstraps and started calling all of us. And one of my kids, my oldest daughter, she got the phone call first and had to tell me right away. I was at the bus stop and everybody could hear me panic. And they were looking at me like, is this woman going to faint? What's going on? She's freaking out. And some of them just kind of backed away because I really tried to calm myself down because my daughter goes, Mom, you better just calm down, happy thoughts at the birthday party. And she goes, then we'll go ahead and have coffee and talk. So that's what's been going on. But maybe later on I'll put on a news article. But grieving, the best way I dealt with it was sticking to the King James Bible and getting advice, scripture, and getting that reassurance, of the blessed hope. I know a lot of people say pre or post-trib rapture when evidently the Bible always points to pre, when it's actually, the time of Jacob's trouble if you really study into it. But anyway, I guess that's it. It was just 5:30 in the morning. I had to go for a walk. Right now it's 6:15. My hair is wet. You know, I would have loved to go for a drive, but I had that brain tumor removed. But it's raining like crazy. But going for a walk is much better. Not only that, I just thought get a cup of coffee because I'm going to be up all day. Haven't really slept since then. It's like sometimes I'll be awake for a couple of days, and that's just I don't know how anybody else deals with grief. Maybe this advice will help. It's kind of chopped up right now because my mind is just kind of going crazy. Because tomorrow is the funeral, and I just didn't know how to talk about it. But it was so unexpected. I don't know. I'm just trying to process it. I don't know. But anyway, if you have a loved one that's passed, talk to somebody, and even though you're not religious, just go ahead and try reading the Bible to get, you will find comfort in there. You will. You'll find a lot of comfort in there. Also, I've been listening to audio sermons, of course, of pastors that, I trust, not some New Ager ones. I listen to the good old-fashioned ones, David Wilkerson and stuff. And there's one that I listen to, and I know people probably clap my face if they've ever heard of this guy, but also Brian Dellinger, he was a good one. Neftali, 1981. He's a good source, of comfort. He's a Puerto Rican. Has a nice soothing voice just to kind of go, goes through scripture and stuff and good advice. And he also tells, talks about, depression, that all of us Christians go through it, but it's pretty soothing. And there's a lot of others out there that are honest to goodness. Another one that I like is Drew Bloom 34. He's he goes after the I should say these false teachers that are really way out there. I mean, it's just, but he also has different chapters that he goes through that, learning, and he also talks about, depression and stuff and how us Christians should deal with it. And non-believers, go ahead and try, just try. It's comforting. But I guess I better dry myself off. I'm kind of sahagi, you know. Sahagi is soggy hair, like a sahagi. Not only that, I stepped in a mud puddle and my right leg is just totally soaked with my sock and my tennis shoe. But I had to do it. It was therapeutic. I just had to go for a walk because I was just feeling, ooh, and sometimes that helps. Going for a walk, thinking thoughts, going through the process of something that happened so unexpected. And, I miss them. And sometimes I think, and it was the same thing when my mom died. Uh, I got a new accessory for a computer and I got a new computer to use. And automatically I wanted to pick up the phone and call my mom because she always loved computers. So I was going to pick up the phone and call my mom, and I realized my mom's dead. And then I was recently, after now my dad has passed away, I was going to ask something about our family tree, because my mom had explained that my last name is ancient Prussian. So I don't know if it went from Russia and Hungary and German, and I have to study on that, or it's something else. And so I was going to ask my dad, and I thought, oh, I'll call him up, and he's not there. Um, so they're both with the Lord. It's just that weird, you got to get used to it. And it's just like you want to pick up the phone and call them, and you realize they're not there. So I'm just kind of making this video, explaining what's been going on, and just trying to process the whole thing. So anyway, anybody that's lost a loved one, even in way years ago or recently, find somebody to talk to, get in the Word, and just, hang in there. Anyway, anyway, you guys have a good morning, good afternoon, or a good night, and thank you for listening to me and stuff like that. And I also want, just to help you and grieve too, because anybody grieving out there, I know how you feel. But anyway, you guys, thank you for listening, and God bless.